What's up, everybody? Today we're looking at a game from 2001, of course, Vikanze tournament between Alexander Morozevich and Michael Adams with the black pieces. This was an important game for Evans Gambit theory at the time because there's two major lines here after the Evans Gambit: b4, b takes c3, bishop a5, d4, and e takes d4. One is castles, which was played by Morozevich in this game, and the other main line is queen b3. And you'll still see these two lines today. Today we're going to look at this game where the move castles was played. I just want to take a moment to tell everybody to like and subscribe to the channel. Check the links below. There'll be DVDs or books related to this opening that we're talking about today. Notice too on the map, if you don't know where Vikings is, it's in the Netherlands. There's a map right there on the screen for you. And the other picture in black and white is none other than Captain W.D. Evans, who was a inventor slash sailor slash chess player. As in those days, there were no real professional chess players. And it came to be known as the Evans Gambit because supposedly Captain Evans played the English player MacDonald, used the Evans Gambit, and of course it became popular. And you can see also by the little chart that I have on the screen the popularity of the Evans Gambit. So in the mid 19th century, we're talking about 1840 to 1860, that was the height of the popularity of the Evans Gambit, and then kind of waned off. And we saw a resurgence in the 90s with Gary Kasparov and some other GMs, Nigel Short, playing the Evans Gambit. So you see it from time to time as a surprise weapon, and you'll see it a lot in Blitz. So sit back and enjoy this game. Again, Morozevich has the white pieces, Michael Adams with the black pieces. All right. So, like I said, there's two main lines: castles here and queen b3, directly attacking f7. This move, castles, gives black enough time to defend and basically keep his advantage. And Adams does very well navigating here. So he plays knight ge7. He doesn't play knight f6, which kind of, would kind of egg white on to play e5 and, just create this tactical melee. All right. And this is what white wants. So knight ge7. So now knight g5, and we can see the obvious attack against f7, right? These are main themes in these romantic openings: attack f7, attack h7. We see the same thing in the King's Gambit, Danish, right? Attack f7 in all these lines of Giocco piano, all right? However, b5. So black usually has this ace up his sleeve in these systems where the bishop lands on c4. You'll see that in a lot of analogous openings. It's beautiful outside, by the way, too. I don't know if you're looking in the background. I'm outside, but the dogs agree with me too. So anyway, after, let me just show you the idea here with knight g5. Of course, is after castles and queen h5, and black is practically lost here, as there's a threat against h7 and f7 simultaneously. So we can't have that. However, in these systems where the bishop comes to c4, we see a lot of opportunity for black to play d5. Again, if you look at the Danish, Giocco piano lines, you will see this a lot. Even in the King's Gambit, you will see this where the bishop comes to c4. You'll see these opportunities. So it's good to study all of these openings because they're all related. All the tactics are related. All right. So exploits the position of the bishop, blocks the attack on f7, all right, and it also opens the way for the c8 bishop. For the bishop on c8 to come out. All right. So Moro plays e takes d5. He wants to keep the pieces, of course. If he plays bishop d5, then just knight takes d5. Right? E takes d5, and let's say queen takes d5, and rook e1 and bishop e6, for example. It is playable, but he wants to keep the pieces on the board, and he attacks with a threat against the knight on c6. Knight comes to e5, gaining tempo against the bishop, right? And again, defending f7. All right. So bishop b4. And again, the idea here is if knight e5, queen b4, and just simply f6. White's attack starts running out of steam. You have to remember that white is down material, so he has to play like really aggressively. It's not good enough for black. Not only is he down white down material, but his pawn structure is a little bit shabby. So it's not enough for just white to like equalize the material balance, because then his position will be worse anyway. So he really has to win by attack, or gain the material back in such a way that he has enough advantage to compensate for his structural deficits. Idea here, of course, is if knight b5, then knight takes f7. Again, f7 is very important in these openings. King takes f7, and they have this position kind of that resembles like a fried liver attack. So queen f3, king e6, rook e1. Of course, you can't keep that knight. So this is why knight e5 is played here. Knight takes d5, trying to be greedy, but knight e5, bishop b3. Another idea is bishop b5 can be played here, and then c6, d takes, and b takes c6. All right, that's a little sideline right there that's playable. But bishop b3, castle. So here, I mean, to me, black is doing good, neutralizing the threats, right? And castles, he's fine. He's not getting greedy here. I mean, he could probably take here, but things might get a little sharp. So castles, and now Morozevich plays c takes b5. At the time, this was a novelty, I believe. He captured the d pawn, but he's gonna have trouble defending these weak central pawns. Again, Morozevich is banging everything on a successful attack. Knight takes h7 has been tried here. Queen h5, king g8, queen takes. It starts getting pretty sharp. This was played by none other than Nigel Short versus Michael Adams. And here, sorry, that wasn't Nigel Short. This was Nigel Short, the Nigel Short game. We played rook e8 here. Queen d8. And then you see the pieces start coming out for black. Start driving the pieces back. All right. So after c takes d4, knight g4, good move, because the knight simply blocks the action of the queen. Right, the queen wants to get over here. The knight blocks it, but of course we don't play just like one unidimensional moves in chess. Right, there's another purpose to it. So he blocks the queen, but also the knight also wants to go back to f6. So after knight g4 here, queen f3. So again, f7, putting pressure on f7 and defending the pawn that's attacked on d5. Knight f6, and you can see I have highlighted now it's 3 pieces against the pawn on d5. Moro plays bishop a3, developing the bishop and pinning the knight on e7 somewhat. h6, just kicking the knight out, you gotta go. Knight e4, so again threatening to damage the pawn structure of black. Knight takes e4, queen takes e4, and rook e8. And so now this is a problem, because the placement of the queen makes white susceptible to discovery tactics. So now bishop b2, and Morozevich is getting a little desperate right here, and he just lines his bishops up against the queen side, and he's willing to do what he has to do. If he has to sacrifice those pawns, he doesn't care, right? If he can just ditch those pawns, d6 and then d5, and he'll have nice diagonals attacking the king side. So knight f5, and what this does is gain valuable time against the queen. All right, queen f4. All right, And what queen f4 does is it prevents rook, the rook from coming to e4. All right, and also it stops. Let me put some highlights there for you guys. It stops invasion of the queen, like for now. All right. So bishop b4. This is like sign of very strong master right here. Bishop b4 just simply moves the bishop back to d6. So what is Adams saying here? Adams is like, you know what? The bishop is already done its job here. So you know what? Now let's bring it back into the fray. So it's already done its job on a5. It's gonna come back to d6. Knight e3. Right, just trying to get the knight in the game. Idea is bring the knight to c4, of course. Bishop d6 with tempo, queen d2. So now the queen is pushed out of the way. All right. So now with the queen gone, guess what? The queen can come to h4 now, and now the position is reminiscent of martial attack, right? With this black attack on the king side. So this looks like a great position for black here, forcing the weakness. So g3. You don't really want to mess with h3 with the bishop on c8 like that in this position, right? So now it's looking like I said, a martial. Looks like black has played the gambit. Queen h3, knight c4, and now Adams just plays b5. He keeps going for it. Now Adams missed a fantastic move here, which is bishop b4. I saw this in my analysis. Fantastic move. And the main idea here, I'll just show you, first of all, white cannot take the bishop. He has to play queen c2. All right. And then play could go knight d6, knight d6, and then bishop d6. Black here, of course, is better. All right. Again, the structure of white would not stand the scrutiny, all right, of black's better piece placement and attack. So black will have the attack here, right? Bishop g4, threatening bishop f3, and the better structure. So what more do you want? So, however, let me show you the main idea. If he takes the bishop, then you have knight h4. All right, and now knight h4 is threatening mate right here. All right, so this move is forced to capture. Once the king side is ripped open, queen g4 check, knocking the king in the corner, right? And now black's idea here is just to exploit the weak light squares. Queen f3 check, king g1, bishop h3, and that's the idea. All she wrote. However, Adams didn't see that, or he didn't take it seriously. If he did see it, play b5, knight e5. Again, knight takes d6, knight takes d6 is possible, but Moro is trying to keep the pieces on the board, and he wants to attack. So after knight e5, bishop b7, rook a e1. So Moro gets all of his pieces developed. All right, but black is developed too. So it's a wash. a5. So black is just preparing the advance of these pawns, and you can see also the threat right here. The bishop coming back. Remember, the bishop was there earlier, went back. So now a3, b4 takes, and now the bishop comes back. Bishop c3 takes, and now notice the position of the queen unprotected. Okay, so now you can see a clear visual, and this is how tactics arise in positions. Knight h4. So now the knight cannot be captured. Well, the knight can be captured legally, but then you just drop the queen. Okay, so with the mate threat on g2, the queen on basically hanging on c3, Morozevich had to resign. Okay, so at the end of the day, white was able to hold on to his d4 and d5 pawns, but he lost the king in the process, and there he had to resign. And this game was a pivotal game in this line of the Evans Gambit at the time, and this is why you really don't see this line with castling too much. Of course, people will play it, they might not know the theory, or try to use it as a surprise weapon, but this line kind of shut that down. The line that Adams played with the knight coming to e7, so if you do play the Evans Gambit, it's probably you should play the line with queen b3 that Morphy I used to play back in the day. So anyway, that's it for this video, man. I hope you guys really like that. I hope you like the view out here. I know it's just like woods and stuff, but you know, I figure I switch it up a little bit. It's beautiful out here today. I do have a hat. It's like a little chilly, but it's all good. Um, check the links below. Again, I'm gonna put the books, DVDs down there for you guys to check out. Please support my channel via donation. Share the video, you know, whatever. And I'd like to hear your comments too. You know, some feedback on the video and stuff like that, and you know, just interact with the people in general. Again, Chess Audiobooks is on Lee Chess, chess.com, Twitter, and Instagram, so you can follow me on all those platforms. All right. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys later.